with the flow chart, there are three things you need to know. That's all. You can create any flow chart you want. Flow chart is about one thing, and that is defining a process. A process starts from point A and ends up at point Z. And along the way, it goes around point B, C, D, and then branches out. But bottom line, a flow chart must flow.
Yep.
Most people don't understand that. So they start connecting things. So in order for a flow chart to flow, it starts, I'll tell you what these are. Don't worry about what I'm doing for now. Is okay, I said no. Okay. So when you are creating a flow chart, you must always put your blocks vertically. That is the yes path. Because remember, I was telling you, think positive. That's not because I'm giving you some spiritual stuff. That's the way things work. Yes, you want yes, whatever you're doing. Yes direction starts from the top, goes all the way to the bottom, and it ends.
I should just let you know, because you don't, I don't think, and it's not that I don't want to do this. When I was at university, I did a certain amount of systems analysis and computer programming.
Okay, so you
So
know
I have written, drawn flowcharts. I've created flowcharts before. Not for a very long time, but I think I probably understand.
When we go through
concept.
life, we start to become negative. And this is especially the case with lawyers. So you start thinking negative. That's not the way things work. Things work because they flow in one direction.
Go to yes.
And so now the key in structuring your flow chart is you have to think about the actions that will lead to the positive outcome, and then put them in. They don't always happen that way because there are different scenarios, and you present the scenario. And then when that scenario presents itself, that's a question mark in the flowchart. So a question mark is a decision point.
Yes.
So you have to make a decision. In order to make a decision, there has to be a question. So it is your job to ask the question. But you have to ask your question in a way that the yes answer leads to the vertical. So always starts at the top and goes to the bottom. For example, let's say we are doing a flow chart about going home. We're gonna leave the office and go home. Okay, so what is the first thing that you do? Which brings, so point one is always run vertically in the yes direction, and then if something is a no, you branch to the right, never to the left, always to the right. Now cosmetically, sometimes you may have to put it to left. All these rules are 90%. Sometimes you can break for cosmetic reasons, that's okay, but always run from top to bottom,
fundamentally,
and then branch to the right for the no answer. So that's point one. Point two is flowcharts are about taking actions. It's very simple. You ask a question, then you take an action. Ask another question, take an action. Take another action, another action, another action. That's it. Decision, action, decision, action. That's what flowchart is. But you may have 5 different actions you take that basically does one thing for you. You can bundle all those up and create a routine. You've done system stuff, it's called subroutine. So that really is a series of actions. So but it comes back to the same thing. It's always decision, action. These things are represented by symbols. So when you look at it like that, there are 2 symbols you need to worry about. With 2 symbols, you can create any flowchart you want. And that is rectangle for actions. Right there, you'll see first one is always selected. It's rectangle.
Right.
Add shape. That's it. So we're gonna go to the office. We're gonna go home when we finish work. How do we do that? First, so in this, you put the shape in, and then when you right click, it gives you the options. Edit text, puts you in.
Is it time to go home?
No, leave the office. We've already, I mean, of course, we're gonna do.
I
So,
thought you were going to make it.
yeah, we are going to do it. Leave the office, then copy paste. Lock the office. Okay. So now we it should be the other way. So we lock the office and then leave. Now we are out in the street. How are we gonna go? Are we gonna take the subway? Are we gonna walk? Or are we gonna do something else? So there is a decision point. Decision point is always a diamond. So add shape. You can do right. Yes, we are doing so. As you noticed, it automatically put yes to the bottom. See? So these arrows you can connect. Green, you must make sure it's green. Green means it's connected. This one is not connected. You see, when I move it, then it's disconnected. But if you connect it like this,
I see.
okay, so it gives you the, you know, it's a great. This is so connectors. These are called connectors.
Yeah.
Connectors can be here, straight, elbow, or curved. Now what happens here is because it was to the side, it thought it would be L. So now this is straight, then I can move it like this. That's it. Okay. See, it left these here. We'll bring these. Okay. So what is the question? And we must ask it in a way that is going to give me yes, no answer, and that the yes will point to the downward one. So I'm going to say,
are we taking the subway?
Yeah, are we taking the subway? That's it. Now, if it's yes, put this in here and say buy a subway ticket. Okay, well, we can put the arrows later. If we are not taking the subway, what happens? Another decision point. There's no multiple choice. There is no maybe. Then are we taking? Let's do cab because we are eliminating. If it's yes, yeah, you can also do. If that is your preferred by default, that's fine. Call Uber, and if not, then there is no other option.
Walk.
Exactly, but that's not a question anymore. Start walking. That's it. So now, so we covered two fundamentals. A little bit of a Flowbreeze thing. So you want to connect, right? Add connectors. You don't want to do it. I typically do copy paste, but when you've done it already, this is something much faster. So start, connect, start to lock the office. This is alphabetical. Add connector. And then lock the office, to leave the office, add connector. Are we taking the subway? To buy a subway ticket, add connector. And then are we taking the subway to, are we taking cab, add connector. Then are we taking cab to start walking, add connector. And then taking cab to call Uber, add connector. Okay, so this one is not straight, so I'm going to make this straight and move this a little bit. So when you create Flowbreeze, it creates this grid, as you noticed, and then everything moves according to the grid. But sometimes you have a tedious situation like this. And I'll give you the tip that took me 2 years to learn because I didn't realize. Two tips. One is you have to, even if it looks straight, connector may be in elbow mode. It will never look straight.
Right.
Second is if you keep your finger on control and then do the arrows, you can do fine moving rather than grid, and it will make it perfect. Okay, that's the flow chart. Now, last point. Every flow chart must start somewhere and end somewhere. There is to be an end point. Where is the end point? There isn't one. And that is the third symbol. It's called terminator. Terminator is same as the oval. So you want an oval shape. So you go to add shapes, take the oval, add, no, sorry, that's not the oval. Where's the oval? Yeah, terminator. Yes. Put the terminator here. Arrive at home. That's it. So now we're gonna connect buy subway ticket, arrive, call Uber, arrive, and start walking. Arrive. That's it. That's it. That's the flowchart. How much time did that take?
Not long.
Now, one very important point, and this is the reason why when you're designing a process, you must use flowchart. There's no question about it. Every single decision point must connect to something. If you don't,
Then it doesn't work.
that's a loophole.
Yeah.
And people will drive a truck through it.
But
So
also,
when you do the flowchart,
also, you can see very clearly and easily
exactly,
and quickly,
you can color code it, everything.
and it's, as you said, it's either got a beginning and an end
Yes.
that everything connects through,
Yeah.
or it doesn't, in which case you haven't finished.
So this is all it takes.
Right.